Are you looking for a better way to start your day? In today's video, I share with you 3 steps to building a better morning routine. If you want to have your most productive day, you need to start off on the right foot. And that starts with having an effective morning routine. So I want to share with you 3 different components that I encourage people to include in their morning routine. Now you can mix and match these 3 different areas, but I strongly encourage that you incorporate them into your morning. It doesn't really matter what time of day that you wake up in the morning, but as long as you include these 3 factors, you're going to set yourself up for a very productive day. Now, the first thing you should include in your morning routine is some form of exercise. I really don't care what it is. It could be running, it could be going for a brisk walk, or it could be working out with weights or a stationary bike. But the important thing is that you're breaking some kind of sweat first thing in the morning. This does so much more than just physically benefit your body, it helps you mentally as well. By getting up and getting active sometime in the first hour of your day, you are setting yourself up for more productivity and more effectiveness in other components of your day. For example, I can tell immediately at around 10 a.m. in the morning if I have or have not exercised that day, because I'm just not as energetic. I'm just not as clear with my work, and I'm typically not as focused with my work as well. So try to find some time to fit in some exercise. It doesn't have to be a half hour. Even as little as 10 or 15 minutes will do. So be sure to include exercise sometime in your morning routine. Now, the second thing I want you to include in your morning routine is reading. But not just reading anything, I want you to read something uplifting. When we first wake up in the morning, it's so easy to grab our smartphones and start browsing our social media feeds and perhaps reading the latest news stories. But I want you to start your day off on a positive note. So let's give news and social media a break. Perhaps there's a good book that you'd like to start reading in the morning. Perhaps there's a particular blogger that you like to subscribe to, and maybe you'd like to read his or her articles at that time of day. No matter what it is, just make sure that it's positive and uplifting, a way that you can start your day with a smile. So no matter where it is, either before or after your exercise, be sure to include some positive and uplifting reading. Now, the third building block that I'd like you to include in your morning routine is doing something you dislike. What? You're probably thinking, why would I throw this into your morning routine? Well, I think it's important that you throw something in that first hour that you can get done early so you don't have to come back to it later in the day. Or at the very least, perhaps you can ignore it for several hours. Let me give you a perfect example. I will often spend about half an hour with my email sometime in the first hour of my day. Now, the reason I do it is, number one, I want to spend less time with email later in the morning. After I've spent that first half hour with email, I will often not look at my inbox again until around noon. So is there something in your day, is there something in your work schedule that you could do early on that you don't have to touch again, or at the very least, you don't have to think about again for several hours? Maybe it's scheduling appointments. Maybe it's reviewing an income balance sheet. Whatever it is that you're not wild about doing, see if you can include it in that very first hour. It may seem like a negative thing to throw into your morning routine, but it's going to pay off as a major positive later on in the day. So there you have it, 3 components to a better morning routine. Get some exercise, read something uplifting, and do something you don't like. Now, I'd love to hear from you next. What is something that you always include in your morning routine? Be sure to leave me a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you'd like to watch another Simpletivity video, you can click right here. Remember, Being productive does not need to be difficult. In fact, it's very simple.